What is up, everybody? Good morning. How's it going? It's my favorite month of the year. It's October. Everything good happens in October. And we have a gap and go on multiple things on a Tuesday. What? How cool is that? I'm excited. I'm looking forward to getting this day started. How's it going? How's everybody doing? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Cindy. Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Jay Linder. I'm going to give everybody a little bit of time to just kind of join in and we will get this going. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to bring up the YouTube chat so I don't miss anything from you guys. All right. Okay. Cool deal. Feel free to put in your comments, whatever tickers you want to take a look at. I would be more than happy to do that in YouTube. So let's get this party going. I'm so excited to get today started. It's one of those cool days where the report came out, the consumer report, and we have a really strong economy, guys. I mean, nobody wants to stop spending. It's amazing how cool the report is. And I'm truly surprised, to say the least. So in a way, I'm kind of glad. And in a way, I don't know what to think of it. So the cues, let's get started with the cues firstly. NQ is looking great. Dan, I see you're here. Is there a way you can send me the link to our YouTube thing? It's not letting me open comments. I know there's people watching right now, but I can't open comments. So if you can send me a link, that would be great. Okay, cool. So let's get TradingView. Let's get to TradingView. All right, cues. So I was watching this level really, really closely earlier when I woke up, and this was obviously before the markets opened, and so I assumed that today we are simply just going to do something like this and then bounce off. But the fact that some reports came out, and guys, I mean, consumer spending is actually really good for the markets, by the way. It's just that if we keep spending, the Fed's going to get a little bit threatened. And, if we keep spending, there's more demand and less supply, and inflation just keeps staying up. So in any other world, consumer spending is great. It's actually supposed to be good news. But because we have this Fed threat, it's just a little bit tricky. So I thought we would do this twist, but because we're not doing that and we're kind of sort of below that level, I think it's inevitable that we come down to this level at this point. I do not want to go short right at open because we've dipped down quite a bit all of a sudden. So if we get some sort of buying coming in, I would like to roll over from there. I'd like to see a rollover from there. So just be cautious on what you go short right out the gate. When I was looking at SPY earlier, it looked like a clean little gap and go. I mean, it was just a perfect gap and go. Now, here's also another interesting thing, guys. So, the cues, well, actually, let's look at NQ real quick and I'll show you what I mean. And then we'll come back to SPY. So everyone is expecting, now on the Qs, you may not, QQQ, you may not see it as cleanly as NQ because the futures trade overnight. So they would include the pre-market, post-market activity, right? So the chart looks a little bit different, but this was the retest. And if we took off today, we were off to new highs, right? And it's a clean double bottom retest of that neckline, and we're looking to take off. Now, if we take out this neckline today, guys, I mean, we know that it's very easy for us to come down and go even lower. So, today is a little tricky of a day in terms of going bullish. I have a strong bear bias towards things today, especially some of the tickers that we'll go over, and I'll post some of my favorite setups and then we'll take it from there. With you guys in the room, I mean, we're here, so we can get it together. All right, cool. Good morning. Good morning, Richard. Good morning, Grotto. Good morning, Daniel. I hope I'm saying your names correctly, but all right. So on SPY, it's the same exact thing. Let's go check it out. Check out the SPY. All right, so it's the same exact thing. We're looking to retest this double bottom neckline and then go higher. Now, you probably don't see this double bottom cleanly here, but on a smaller time frame, it's there, and you'll be able to see it. But this gap and go on SPY is not really doing anybody a favor currently. So if we continue down, I wouldn't be surprised that we go much, much lower, all the way down to here. For today, I think we can get a much nicer risk to reward kind of play towards the bear side. So that's what I'm hoping for. I thought the pre-market activity before the reports came out was just going to be a little tiny retest and then we go higher. But SPY's got a little bit of resistance here. We didn't really hold that and we're rolling down lower. So with that being said, just be cautious going bullish today. I would have a much stronger bear bias than a bull bias. So we'll see. We'll see if the 10 EMA and the 20 EMA on the daily act as a support level and then continue higher. Again, we've got Tesla earnings coming up tomorrow, so that might save the markets. I don't know. Tessie is known to do some wild things when all things are down. So we'll see. All right, let's go on over to favorite gaps of the day. Of course, there is NVIDIA, which has to be the most favorite gap of the day. There are some regulations on how they can produce and bring the chips to the United States. So this was breaking news earlier and everything's just kind of dipping based on that. Naturally, if you are a buyer here, you're going to have some sort of fear setting in with this gap and go today. So I'm gonna lean much, much bearish. Unlike SPY, we are below the 10 and the 20 EMA. So I'm going to lean much, much, much bearish on NVIDIA and AMD, its twin sister, for this play. AMD also is a cute little gap and go to the downside. Again, I have a long position in AMD at 105, and I'm not sure what exactly I want to do. So I don't know. My stop is about at $100. So it's a $5 stop. I'm not sure if I want to get out of my position today, depending on how, if things really get going, we might get to my stop today. I don't know. So depending on how things go today, I might decide if I want to move up my stop, maybe below this candle and call it quits, or if I just want to leave it as is. But I was really, really strong NVIDIA and AMD bullish for swing trades because of this inverse head and shoulders. And it looks like with this gap and go, it looks like it may not be the case now. So we'll see. NVIDIA, I feel like this is, if you're going to play anything bearish, this has got to be your play today. I really, really, really like this play today. So let's aim for this guy, a day trade on here. I would hope that we get some sort of buying coming in at open and then look for that rollover. But again, I'm willing to take it short out the gate also, only because it's had so many green days in a row with a pullback candle, and then that too got kind of bought up. So, and an easy target would be 433. So it's a nice and easy 11-point target, which is a good deal. That's a pretty clean little target, right? So that's where I would aim to take some profits and then see what happens, especially for a day trade. I don't think we're going to 400 today. So 410 today. I think that would be asking a lot off it. So AMD, NVIDIA, definitely best favorite gap and goes. Let's look at the plain old Qs in itself. So the Qs are also gapping above the 10 and the 20, but it is a gap and go. So I am not sure if the Qs want to take off in the bullish direction or the bearish direction. I think the market at open will kind of sort of decide and let us know which way we want to go. I would lean a little bit more towards the bear side. I think a lot of you guys here would agree with me too. So Gisela says people are going to want to get their profit. So I think there'll be a sell-off at the gate. Yeah, probably. Yeah. We'll see. Sebastian, and Gisela means on NVIDIA, so we'll see. Sebastian says Tesla. Let's go check out Tessie. Tessie's also, so this kid, guys, I mean, let's look at the longer term moving averages just in case, because I always tend to forget it. So this is a really interesting spot for Tesla. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I tend to leave Tessie alone when it comes to these zones. These are long-term moving averages. We're hovering above on them. It's just always tricky to short something when it's that close to long-term moving averages on the daily and the weekly. I always find very hard to short something because I mean, there's a lot of incentive for larger institutions to buy off of these moving averages. You know, our boy Jeremy buys off of these moving averages all the times, and I'm sure his account's big enough to move things around a little bit. I would assume it is. So yeah, but it's a little bit tricky. It's not as good of even without the moving averages. It's not as great of a gap down as I would like it to be. We do have earnings tomorrow, so tomorrow will be a decision play. October, hands down, guys. Come on, it's got to be like the most amazing month of the year, right? I mean, is it not? It's my birthday week, by the way. I am turning 35, I think. On the 22nd, and I will be celebrating that in Amsterdam. So if any of you guys live or are around Amsterdam, I am meeting with one RLT member there. That will be exciting. So that's going to be fun. But if you guys are from or around Amsterdam, that'll be awesome. Thank you, guys. Thank you. October has just got to be the most amazing earnings season, volatility, all of the major crashes, by the way, started either or happened in October. So, I mean, you know, you gotta love the month of October. I truly do. All the great people I know are born in October. All right, I'll stop. Okay, so Tesla, I do not like this gap down as much. I think if the markets get moving, I think this is more of a bull candidate, honestly, Sebastian. But however, this is a clean little 10 EMA setup on the daily. So if we take this candle out, and we're not really that far off. I mean, what's 3 points on Tessie? It's not really that far off. So, you know, if we take this candle out, I would definitely be interested in a bear play, because at that point, we're not really respecting these two major moving averages. And then on the weekly, well, weekly is right here at 246 too. Yeah, I think you know, there's a lot in the way holding this thing up. So I think it would have to be like one monster candle breaking it down. We would need a candle like this on the daily to just kind of make everything established, you know, like this, where nothing's holding, nothing's working. So yeah, we'll see. For a swing play, I think if we take this candle out today and go a little bit bearish, I think it'd be interesting to, you know, see where the swing trade goes from here. We'll see. Okay, cool. Let's move on to Apple. Apple also is not a very great gap and go. However, I am really, really, really interested in this guy. See if we can take this candle out, because that's a lot of buying candles in a row. So I'm interested to see where this thing goes, right? I mean, it makes sense that we pull down to here all this while. You know, I've been bearish. I was in a trade. I did get out bearish on Apple swing trade, and then it kind of bounced. So maybe I'll re-enter my trade. I don't know, depending on where today's candle closes. As far as the day trade is concerned, I'm not really that interested in it. I think we ought to leave this guy alone until we take this guy out at 176. Let's put an alert there, crossing below, and we'll leave it open. All right, cool. Airbnb, just because I like to look at it every now and then. Choice Hotels, by the way, offered to buy out Wyndham. And that's a pretty big deal. Then in the hotel markets, the franchise world, I guess there will only be Marriott, Hilton, and Choice Properties. It's an open offer. I guess the deal didn't really work out, but Airbnb is a pretty cute little gap and go too. Let's see if we can recover here and get a bounce off, because this is a daily 200 SMA. So let's see if we can get a bounce here. If we do, it'll be a cute little double bottom here, right? It turns into a double bottom. But if we don't, friends, this is the zone we go much lower from. So today for a day trade, I think it would be cute to see where Airbnb goes. If you guys have any other tickers, I'd be glad to take a look at it, but all right. Let's move Airbnb up a little bit. I will scoot Apple a little bit below NVIDIA on the top and AMD right below it, NVIDIA. Okay, cool. All right. Let's go check out. Well, let's see what MU is doing. See if MU is affected. No, Micron is not. Interesting. Okay, cool. So with Micron, I feel like, no, I still like NVIDIA a lot more. We'll leave Micron alone. Microsoft. I like looking at Microsoft only because it's got a pretty decent range in it. So I like looking at Microsoft. Lots of gap and goes, guys, out there in the markets. Pick your favorite. Really, honestly, just pick one that you like more. I like NVIDIA and AMD because they're news related and they're below the 10 and the 20. So I personally prefer them a little bit over Microsoft or SPY and the Qs, you know. So I'll keep an eye out on Microsoft. I will obviously keep an eye out on Tesla, see if we take out that candle, especially right before earnings. We'll see what happens to that. Let's check out Netflix. Ooh, Netflix is not really gapping down as much. That's kind of interesting. When is Netflix's earnings? Tomorrow? Oh boy, that's going to get interesting. I absolutely enjoy Netflix's earning events because they're so crazy and they move so much. It's amazing to watch Netflix during earnings time. So yeah. As far as today, these are strong tickers, right? There's strength in them. So I like Airbnb. I like Netflix to the bull side. If we hold, if the market holds and we go higher, if our bear trades fail, we're going to come back to Netflix and Airbnb and see if we can get a bounce. Airbnb only because it's at the 200 moving average on the daily. That's it. So I'll move Netflix a little bit higher and see if we get a play in there. All right, cool. Let's check out Meta. Meta is, I feel like this is the strongest thing out there in the markets today. I mean, not today, but just in general, it refuses to dip. It's just really, I mean, this weekly chart is just scary for the bulls, right? Extremely strong. Cute little inverse head and shoulders. We didn't even retest that. I mean, we retested it a little bit, but yeah, it's very strong. Don't get in the way. Just leave it alone. As far as the day trade's concerned, bullish. If I had a choice, I don't really want to trade it bearish per se, just because it's so strong. And it's not really gapping down as much as some of the other tickers, right? So yeah, we'll leave it alone. Googster. Goog is interesting. It's strong, yes, but then it keeps pulling back every time it makes that high. So Google definitely is interesting. There is range on it to come down to 135. I think that's an easy play. Cute little gap and go. Let's see where Google goes at open. I will keep an eye on this for sure and see where it ends up going and then trade it in the bearish direction. Honestly, I don't like it as much as NVIDIA or AMD. So we'll see. All right. Shopify. What's Shop been up to? I really thought Shop was going to hold this gap and bounce here. And the fact that we did it, I mean, really, this was an easy play down. If you were a bear and you caught this move down, hats off to you. I mean, really, this is a spectacular move down very, very quickly. It's essential for SHOP to get a bounce here. And the fact that we're not really doing that, it's still strong compared to the rest of the market today. But I feel like SHOP could easily do something like this, and then come back down, make a new low. So it's weak. As far as the day trade is concerned, I don't really see a play in here that I'm super excited about. So we'll circle back to it. We'll leave it alone. Amazonian. Let's look at this guy on the weekly real quick. Yeah, below the 10 on the weekly, there is the 20 acting as support. There is the 100, or is this the 50? No, this is a 100. Okay, right here. But I like this gap and go. I mean, I do think it's a cute little gap and go on Amazon. We could easily come down to this level, 124. I think it's definitely doable. As far as today is concerned, it's just not like it's a double bottom. We're retesting that double bottom. I would have liked it if we were a little bit deeper into that double bottom, but it's a pretty decent gap down. I would keep an eye on this and see where it goes. I'll keep it a little bit below Apple. All right, what other tickers are we looking at? Ron says, what are you looking for? NVIDIA, what are you looking on NVIDIA for an opening play? And then Ron said, Amsterdam, interesting choice. It's not by choice. Jay's surprising me. I did not, I mean, I'm not supposed to know, but I look through our credit card statements. So I know. All right. I think as far as NVIDIA is concerned, short at open right out the gate, if we don't get any buying. I mean, honestly, Ron, I feel like this is a play that's supposed to just take off at open, right? Because it's news related, it might get, unless we have certain hopeful buyers that go, oh my God, it is a very discounted price on NVIDIA and we should go long here. It's a 20-point gap down, technically speaking. That's going to be rare to find somebody that's going, oh, today's the day to go long NVIDIA right at open. I mean, I'm not going long NVIDIA. I'm thinking of getting out of my AMD position. That's a swing trade and increasing my stops, right? So think of everybody else that thinks as a shareholder, everybody else that thinks alike and that wants to get out or feels trapped in their position. So at open, I feel like if we get a green candle on the 1 minute chart, I'm not even waiting on the 3 minute, 1 minute chart, get a green candle, shorting that, right? Short below. You could be patient and wait for a 3 minute chart, but I think it's worth risking that R on it at open and see if we can end up doing that, right? So that's what my play is. And if we don't get that bearish candle, bullish candle on the 1 minute chart, the green candle, I would go short below that. But if we don't get that, then on the 1 minute chart, I will see if we dip and come back and retest and then enter a short somewhere over here. So that's my plan, Ron. That's what I'm planning on doing. Again, if we slip to 433 right at open, then I guess that's invalidated, and then we'd have to go look for another play. So yeah, so far that's all I've got. What are my bear targets on NVIDIA? I feel like 433 level is a pretty strong level of support. After that, I mean, this guy right here, which is 416. Yeah, I think I don't know if NVIDIA is going to move, 30 points in a day. I think that's a little bit too ambitious of a target, but 433, 11 points, we can certainly expect it to move. After that big of a gap down, I think it's kind of, I don't know, it's debatable if it could move that much. I mean, it has moved up in the bullish direction that much once before, but still, It's debatable. So 433 would be my final target on NVIDIA. I really appreciate some buying coming in at open. It would be nice. And if we get some buying, Rob, then this is the place that I'm looking to enter. I don't think we're going to get that much of a buying coming in at open. We might get some buying coming in to like 445 level and then look for that rollover. That's what I'm hoping for. So yeah, let me circle back to YouTube real quick and see if they have any tickers. Microsoft, we looked at Microsoft real quick. Let's see. Thoughts on PLTR. So does the chip affect TSM like it would affect NVIDIA and AMD? Yes, it would. I don't know what TSM's doing. Let's look at TSM real quick. It should. I mean, yeah, same exact thing. Yes, absolutely. So I think they're saying that the chips manufactured outside of America have to be, they have to pay taxes on it, or they have to pay some sort of a fee on it. That's what they're saying. So, and Kathy Woods yesterday said that her biggest AI play right now is Tesla rather than NVIDIA or the chip sector. So that might, I don't know how much weight that holds, but that might affect NVIDIA and some of the chip sectors, chip moves also. So yeah, definitely affects Taiwan Semiconductor. Let's look at PLTR for our YouTube friends. Let's check it out. Palantir. Ooh, this is nice. I like this play bullish. Honestly, the fact that we're not dipping completely. There's this cute little double bottom. What does it look like on the weekly? Is there support here? Yeah, it's strong. It's at resistance right now. So I could see a little bit of turbulence going, but I mean, if I was swing trading this, as far as a day trade is concerned, we'd have to look at some smaller term moving averages and things like that. But if I was swing trading this, 20 would be my target, 2007, and then see if we can go even higher. As far as a day trade's concerned, we're not gapping down below that big hammer on the daily. So that's interesting. I would say buy the dip here around this level. That's what I would do, and see if we can take off 1683 to the upside. Or if we have a bullish setup, I would take PLTR bullish rather than bearish because it's a little bit stronger, right? I mean, we're kind of below that body, so I don't know. But if it takes off in the bullish direction, then that's what I would assume, that it would continue on higher. So yeah, and as far as, we haven't dipped below certain people's stops. So it's not like these people are getting stopped out and getting out of their position. So we're still in good territory. I think it could take off completely. Yeah. Okay, Microsoft. We looked at Microsoft, but I'll look at it real quick with you guys on the daily. It is a gap and go, and it's above the moving averages on the daily, right? So I'm kind of skeptical about this, but Microsoft can get going. I mean, we can get some decent targets on this. 322 would be a good target on Microsoft. So that's what I would aim for. On the weekly, we have the 10 and the 20 also. So we might have a little bit more turbulence. It may not be as clean of a ride down as we think. So just watch out for Microsoft. I mean, just be cautious shorting this. There's very many other tickers that I like a lot more going short today than this guy. Ulta. Ooh, Ulta. I have not looked at Ulta in a while. However, Ulta, hands down. I mean, I like this company. It's anytime I walk into an Ulta, I never come out spending less than $100. Sometimes, I mean, majority of the times it's more than 100. But yeah, good gap up on a down day like this. We're at the 10 EMA. We take this out. Ulta definitely is a bull candidate versus a bear candidate. I like this. I mean, for a day trade, I think we've got an easy ride up to 404 today. So let's see if we can go a little bit higher. I like this gap up. Let's see if we can hold here, right? So now, let's see. I mean, if at market open, I mean, if at 9:30 the bell goes off and we're immediately dipping, then I don't really want to go long. I want to see this level, yesterday's high hold. Okay, so we're going to see 388 hold. I don't want us to dip below that. And if we do, it's okay, but I want us to recover from that. So like I want us to do something like this, where we dip, go higher, and then find a 10 EMA somewhere over here. So that would be the play that I'm looking for. Guys, I hope I've answered all of your questions in YouTube land. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really, really appreciate it. Go join if you haven't already. Please go like and subscribe to our channel. It'd be highly, highly appreciated. And I will see you guys back on Tuesday. All right, cool deal. Thanks for hanging out with